And good morning to you. Welcome back. You are still watching Morning Live. Now, change is a reality of life, and the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture has not been absolved of change. When President Cyril Ramaphosa announced his new cabinet, former Minister Zizi Kodwa was replaced by Minister Gayton McKenzie. And with that change came the promise of lots of things being done differently in the department. The Minister joins us now. Good morning to you, Minister. Thank you so much for waking up so early in the morning for us.
Good morning and thanks for having me.
So, Minister, you've literally hit the ground running. Excuse the pun. But speak to me about the first time we hear from you speaking to us as the nation. You tell us that, you want to take spinning and put it on the next level and make it one of the biggest sports. Bring us into your mind and your thinking when that came about. Because when initially you said it, some people thought, oh, is it a spin-a-thon? Are we going to be spinning on bicycles? But it wasn't that.
Yeah, firstly, I want to say thank you to the people that supports the idea. But privilege sometimes make us blind to the reality. I've been to rugby games that are empty. I've been to boxing games that are empty. I've been to soccer games that are empty. I've never in my entire life gone to a spinning event that is empty. It's jam-packed. And spinning is going nowhere. So, we have to formulate it. We have to regulate it. We have to make it safer. And I'm telling you, we're going to make spinning one of the biggest sports in South Africa.
And I suppose that also then links back to you saying for you it's also a way to take the youngsters out of gangsterism. It's like constituency. Gangsterism. And almost have them focus in a different place. But we see that a lot with a lot of different sporting codes. Is then school sport going to be something that you also want to focus on moving forward?
We have no choice. I've spoken already just briefly on the sidelines with the Minister of Education and said, I want to see her. And she's also saying that we must speak about school sport. I can tell you, let me make you a great example. In the street that I grew up in, there was Gayton McKenzie and there was another guy. Another guy was into sport. He would kick a ball. We would go and break into people's houses. He will not go. He will play soccer. When I was in jail, I switched on my TV. I switched on the TV in jail. And I saw him playing for the national team. His name is Willem Jackson. Now, a kid in sport is a kid out of court. And and the same with spinning. We know, spinning, you don't get drug users. Because all the money, there's no time to buy drugs. All the money buys a part for the car and stuff like that. And people mustn't say, no, this thing is dangerous. I watch F1. F1 is dangerous. Motorsport is dangerous. Boxing is dangerous. There are some dangerous elements, but the majority of it is good. It changes lives. It's inspirational sport for people.
And that's what we want to focus on. And there's just so many things to try and unpack with you, Minister. We don't have a lot of time. So I do also want to talk about the whole announcement that you made regarding super fans and the fact that you're doing away with that and the government having to fund that because you want to focus more on giving the funds to the athletes to be able to compete at different levels. Let's talk about that because you could have someone who's a netball player say, it actually makes a difference for me to sometimes look up and I see Mama Joy because I know that that's the 12th player.
All right. South Africa has got 65, or let me say 50 million Mama Joys. Make no mistake. That jumps in front of their TV, that will take the last money to go to a game. But there's two things that South Africa needs to understand about the whole Mama Joy situation. There is a panel of super fans. Why is it that they're using the same people while there's a panel? What must the other super fans think that's on the panel? The departmental panel. And you only use the same people, it cannot be. But more than that, the hockey team were raising money. They were selling Boerewors rolls to go and compete. The athletes that's going to Peru for the youth championships, they don't have money to pay for their tickets to get there. I'm helping them now to raise money to get them sponsorship. How do I, as the minister, justify sending Mama Joy, paying 1.3 million, sending people business class, top hotels, while the people that she's supposed to go and watch can't even get there? She gets there before them. They get there before them. We love Mama Joy, but who's she going to watch if I can't get these people? People mustn't, if you are really a super fan, you'll get yourself there if you really want to be there, or that's why we have TV.
Indeed, we do hear you there, Minister Gayton McKenzie. Perhaps we also touch on, when we look at what's happened with 2023 was a good year for South African sport. We had our own World Cup being hosted here, and we heard certain promises being made. And I mean, I suppose you're coming in and taking over from a ministry that wasn't initially yours. But when we look at netball and the fact that it's a participation sport, it's been growing in numbers. But a lot of young girls don't even have a sports arena or a netball arena that they can go to and say, this is where we can play. Are you looking at those elements as well? I mean, we know President Ramaphosa did make a promise to the president of NSA to say we will build an amazing arena for netball in South Africa.
And President Ramaphosa is still serious about keeping that promise, because that's why I met with Netball South Africa. I met with them. I listened to what they want. I wanted to know how can we achieve the promise the president wants us to build those. That's what the president wants. And what the president wants, the president's going to get. He's the boss. So I met with them, and I was so happy with that meeting. I was sad, though, that they get so little money from our department. And I had the people from the department there. I had Netball SA there. And I verbalized that we are going to change the amount that you are getting. You know, Netball, the Deputy Minister, Peace Mabe of Sport, said such a profound sentence. She said netball was the only sport that black women could compete in. And that really touched me, what Comrade Peace Mabe said. So I'm saying to you that we are going to change things. It's no more business as usual. Everybody in that department, the arts, we've got a brilliant, brilliant white paper when it comes to arts and culture and heritage. We need to implement it now. We need to, this thing, you know, the problem that I'm having is that there are some celebrities in this country that wants the lifestyle of Instagram to be maintained by our department. That time is over. That money is going to the sport. A person, you say they are suffering here on TV, but go to the Instagram.
They're living a very lavish life.
It is Louis Vuitton, it is Gucci. But here you are saying to us, we are not your, we must enhance the arts. We must enhance sports. We must take sports people there. We are not here to come and make you to trend here with our money.
And genuinely want to improve the lives of athletes so that we get to the point where we're not saying this person was everywhere, but when they pass away, they've got nothing to show for it from a financial point of view.
100%. I mean, you know, I came there and there was, like for instance, I'll make you an example. The sports people has really, the athletes are struggling. We can't have that. I saw a Paralympic athlete that his mother take care of him sometimes, but he says to me, no, he could on his own, but it's nice to have his mother around. His mother is not going with him. But you have another person or other people going there to do what? Yesterday I asked them to say, give me the list of people that are going to the Olympics in my office and tell me what are they going to do there. I already know I'm going to scratch a lot of names, like what I did with the people that went to Venezuela. I took off myself. I was invited to speak on the Nelson Mandela subject. I took off 3 or 2 officials. I said, no, you don't need to be there. You've never written a book. Go and find me 2 people. They found me 2 people in a book. It's a new time. School sport is coming back. You see, the problem they are having with me, I'm not there to be liked. I am there to do the job that South Africans who voted for us want us to do. Change is coming. Change is coming. I met with SAFA. I'm excited with what they have told us with where soccer is going. And I'm going to look at that. And I must tell you, they've made a brilliant presentation. I've met with Athletics South Africa. I'm happy with that. I have met with SASCOC. I've met with Cricket South Africa. I'm a minister on the move. I'm a worker. I've met all these people already. You know, this is a vibe department, and it must show that. And next week I'm meeting with the people of the arts, and I'm going to my first ballet. And you
donated your salary.
Yes.
Before we get to the ballet, and before we talk about all the vibes, because we do see you're a minister with the vibes, I do want to touch on something, because you were watching that Springboks game when they were up against Ireland, and I've never seen a minister look so excited watching a game there. But after that, you came up and you said it was a beautiful moment, but it was also heartbreaking in the sense that a lot of South Africans couldn't watch this game. on the national broadcaster. Let's talk about that and what you want to see moving forward, because here you say, I enjoyed yesterday's game but felt anger, disappointment and sadness that so many South Africans could not watch. We need them to share the Springbok joy. We can't say we are a poor country, pro-poor country, but don't have the box on SABC. This needs to change. It must change. It's going to change.
Let me tell you, people mustn't think that I'm now watching the box for the first time. In 2007, I was in Paris. So I'm a super fan. I'm the...
Self-funded super fan.
I'm the Mama Joy with cash. So I'm a super fan. So I love sport. I'm a sport fanatic. I'm a super fan.
Yes.
But it cannot be. I went there and I watched the game and I felt a bit guilty. Now I want to assure people that the minister responsible for telecommunications and has really been showing an eagerness. We've been talking, this will be our third time speaking, how to sort out this problem. I think between me and him, we will sort out this problem. People must watch the Springboks, must watch Bafana. This is their team. We can't be controlled by a select few that there's context and money and think they have power. We are in charge. The box must be shown on SABC. People must watch on the national broadcaster. They should watch the national team. This team belongs to the people. What type of leaders are we if we allow our voters, our people, the South African citizens, not to watch the game, not to have the same joy that we are having? No, I'm going to fight this thing. The minister, Maseko, has said, you know what, I'm with you in this fight, and we're going to do it together because there's no ego. We just want a solution. I'm a sports guy. I'm learning about the arts. I'm meeting the arts people too. I've met artists last night. I've met people of the industry. I'm meeting people every day. I go to work at 7 o'clock. Not one day have I come home before 1 a.m. The staff will sit there. I'm sure they're coming with matchsticks to keep their eyes open, but...
They're coming with matchsticks. And I love that, Minister, because it's not just with the rugby. We have those similar issues when it comes to the cricket. And you say it's a select few that are trying to control almost what the public can see. What timelines are you giving yourself to almost want to see change when it comes to this particular issue?
Now, you see, I believe in 100-day. When in my companies, when I resigned from my companies and I sold some, I then said to the new guys, you guys have 100 days to prove to yourself. In 100 days, you must call me back here in 100 days. And I must be able to sit. You must get a bigger table because I'm going to put everything on the table that I've done.
We will.
And if I don't, then I must, the president must fire me. In 100 days, if I've not changed stuff. People want, how many years do you want to change stuff? Every day we are now putting stuff in place. School sport must come back. Black schools and colored and Indian schools don't have swimming pools. That's why our kids drown when they go on this. You've never heard a white kid drowning? Because white kids can swim. We need to start building swimming pools at the school. We need to get school sport back. We need to get not only school sport, but we need to get arts and culture back in the schools. We need to, sports is the one thing that unifies us. I had dinner with the Springboks, I think, on Wednesday evening. Yeah, it was Wednesday evening. And you know what? When you look at the Springboks on TV, but when you're with them, you can see there's not that nonsense. This is one team, one country. They are unifying us. Sia Kolisi is the epitome of what we should all strive to be. And Rassie Erasmus loves this country. And we should have, sports is the one thing that shows us that we have more in common than we don't have in common.
I love those words you use, Minister. And with you comes this change, and we see how many things we have in common, but you've also come with saying, I want transparency.
Yes.
And that's one of the first things you gave us, to say, I want transparency, I want things to be published, I want the public to know how much is being spent on artists, how much is being spent on athletes, and why.
Let me explain something that South Africans don't know. Is that, that there are people that are not artists that is getting money from my department. There are people that are not sports people that are getting money from the department. There are people that are not heritage people involved in heritage, preserving our heritage, that gets money. On the other hand, you have artists that are struggling. You have sports people that are struggling, while they have a department that must enable an environment where they should not struggle. Now, under my ministry, and I'm unapologetic about it, we are still at list 3, I think. There's still list coming. Because we must see where is it that our money gets spent. Some people say, no, you mustn't bring out our names. Then you must come with your own money. Once you take public money, the public should know who gets their money.
Must be accountable for it.
And now once you want to say, no, McKenzie is exposing things, who are you? When you are minister, you mustn't expose us. I'm the minister now. Let me do what I do as the minister. We are going to bring out everybody that received money. There are people, I'll make you an example with netball. Netball South Africa was paid 2.5 million, which is nothing compared to individuals. They was paid 20 million. For what? One individual, for instance, I went to go and see, what you guys spend 20 million on this individual? Now we bought him a building. A building! No, we're renovating his building for 20 million. Can you really, and we are bringing the individual out next week also. How can you spend 20 million for renovations on an individual while you have a national team like Netball SA getting 2.5 million? That nonsense is stopping. We are going to bring out, and then when I'm done with that, I'm now going to see who made this possible in my department. And then I will deal with them ruthlessly.
Minister, we'll have you back in 100 days. There's still so many things I wanted to chat to you about, looking at transformation and sport and your health journey, but we'll keep that for our chat in 100 days' time.
Thank you.
Minister Gayton McKenzie, ladies and gentlemen, the Minister of the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture, letting us in on what his plans are for the department. He says the time of change has arrived and he's not here to be liked by anyone. He's just here to get the job done.